backstage here in Houston, Texas at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling with Ariya Daivari. And last week you were on WWE television. This week it's Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. Before we get into that, I just wanted to ask you, what was your experience like working in the Cruiserweight Classic?
Oh man, it was something else. You know, I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and sometimes you start to wonder, maybe you doubt a little bit about where you're going in this business, but being able to wrestle on a show like the Cruiserweight Classic, it's a pretty validating feeling. It makes you feel pretty good that you gotta mix it up with some of the best in the world.
Now talk about your match that you had with Hoho Lun.
I was very, very happy with it. I mean, I just got to wrestle for the WWE. It's been a goal of mine since I was 8 years old, so even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, it was still a fantastic experience. I couldn't be happier.
Now, how are you approached for this? As you said, you've been doing this for a long time. Did the WWE just call you out of the blue, or was this something?
No, I've been working really hard at this, you know. For about 3-4 years now, I've been the one who's been knocking on the WWE's door, making phone calls, sending emails, all that stuff, and showing my face and doing pretty well in some tryout matches. And I've always been told, you know, you're doing great, keep up the good work. And sometimes you start to think like maybe they're just telling you that, but eventually it brought me to the Cruiserweight Classic, so I think all my hard work finally paid off.
I just wanted to ask you about a couple of the competitors that were in the Cruiserweight Classic. You had excellent names on that. You had Kota Ibushi, you had Cedric Alexander, guys like that. Who are some of the guys that stuck out to you?
Actually, the two guys that you mentioned, Cedric and Kota, were phenomenal wrestlers. There's also a guy named Jack Gallagher. Everyone needs to be on the lookout for him because he is a fantastic wrestler. I think we're all going to see really big things from him in the pro wrestling industry.
Now, I want to talk to you about Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. For the fans that are not familiar with you here in the Houston area, could you give them just a little bit of a rundown? Who is Ariya Daivari?
Ariya Daivari is one tough dude. You know, I always tell people, it doesn't matter how I win the match. If I got to beat you up, if I got to hold you down, if I got to throw you out of the ring, if I got to hit you with a chair, I know I'm supposed to kind of be a good guy, but you do what you got to do to win matches.
So this is your debut here for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. How are you approached to do this show?
Funny story, actually Booker T was up in Minnesota a couple years ago, and we got to do a little bit something in the ring, and he told me that he liked what I did, he thought I was a good worker, and we just exchanged some contact info. But after a few years went by, I thought, oh, maybe we're not going to end up here after all. But I was sitting at home one day, got the phone call, said Booker T on my cell phone, and here I am.
Very cool, man. We're happy to have you here. Just want to have one more question. Is there anybody that you have your sights on wrestling, if you had your choice in the NXT or the WWE for your next time back? Is there any names that come to mind?
Anybody and everybody.
Cool, and anything you want to say to the fans out there that are watching this?
Hey, keep supporting. Follow me on Twitter. It's Ariya Daivari 411. Find me on Instagram at Ariya Daivari. Find me on Facebook, Ariya Daivari as well too. And check me out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Sir, it's been a pleasure and best of luck to you, man. Can't wait to see what you got coming up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.